Welcome back everywhere to the Join Dota League season number 4. It is the Evasion, what am I saying? The Asian Division 1 and 2 playoffs. Underminer Regal versus Awake in this best of 3 series where Underminer, they have this 1 game advantage. So we'll see if Awake can actually keep their dream alive, or will they just be knocked out by Regal right here and now. It's definitely not a clear shot. I mean, sometimes it's like, yes, one team is almost 100%. Well, there is never like a 100% win, but let's say one team is going to 90% win. But in this case, it is rather even. I mean, even in game number 1, it wasn't all that clear. It just was like a couple of bad fights that really ended up hurting Awake. But if they can avoid those, all might be fine. Looking at the bans though, the same bans from Regal as in game number 1. Awake though, banning out the Brewmaster as well as his Dazzle, but Regal now, they are the ones picking up Avenge, but Awake, do we see the Tidehunter now on their side? Or do they go for something else entirely? Do they go for like an Omni Knight start maybe? I guess Omni Knight picking it up this early on isn't all that necessary in most cases. Maybe a Brood Mother pick, although Brood is also the hero that the earlier you pick it up, the more time Regal will have to actually counter it. So you might just start with like a Skydive Mage Ogre, maybe something along those lines, or Tide Skydive Mage, maybe even a Faceless Void whipped up in there. Or you can start with like IO Tiny, if you want to go that balls deep, straight out. I mean, Awake, they did play the IO last time around as well. It wasn't that successful, to be honest. It just had to do a lot to do with Regal's Lion performance by boys. He was just everywhere where necessary, especially once he got the Blink. The Blink Hex initiations or counter initiations were perfect. So Awake, taking quite a lot of time. They definitely want to just get the draft spot on, because after all, they are 1 game behind, so all it takes is 1 more loss for you to lose the series. But what can they go for? I guess you can try to go for like a Chakiro Lycan straight off maybe as well. Something along those lines, just go for an all-out push though. But never mind, they're going to start with a Tidehunter. Took their sweet-ass time deciding that pick, but in the end it's going to be the Tide anyway. So the draft so far has kind of been reversed. I do believe Awake went for a Vengeful Spirit first pick in the first game, with Regal going for the Tide second. But I can't for the life of me remember what the hell the secondary pick was for Regal in the last game. They didn't have a Skydive Mage, did they? No, they didn't. But there's gonna be a Disruptor. I mean, it's definitely a hero that I have been waiting to see a lot more ever since he got buffed a little bit. Just the Glimpse is such a great ability, but Regal now going for a Viper instead. Just a tanky hero. Can definitely survive even that Ravage most of the times when you have Corrosive Skin. Even up against Disruptor, being in a Static Storm, you don't rely that much on your spells, just because if you have used your Viper Strike already before, it's gonna be fine. But for Regal, I would love to see some kind of mobility heroes as well that could escape the Disruptor. Maybe even something like a Slark to come out for Regal's safe lane, for example. Just Slark, I mean, even if you do get Glimpse back, you still have the ability to activate Shadow Dance. So in most cases, you're going to be able to survive the Kinetic Field Static Storm combination anyway if you get Glimpse back into it. Or at least, you have, let's say you have a higher than normal chance of surviving that. But looking at the next bans, Death Prophet plus a Razor banned out by Regal. So they don't want to go give those heroes away. They themselves play the Death Prophet, so they know exactly how strong that hero can be. Especially if you combo it up with the huge team fight of the Tidehunter, and of course even Disruptor for that matter now. But Brood Mother banned out by Awake, so they... I mean, to be honest, I think Brood Mother is almost always a worthy ban just because he forces so much attention to his own lane. I think that is like the biggest asset that the Brood Mother brings. And I have seen only one game where Brood Mother actually makes the difference in the late game as well, with his just pure damage output with the Abyssal Blade and everything. But Awake now going for a Phantom Assassin and Regal, they would do well not to go for the late game now. Just because Phantom Assassin, yes, you might not be the most stable of carries, but you're usually going to get at least 1 crit in anyway. And 1 crit is usually all it takes if you're in the real late stages of the game. If the Phantom Assassin already has like an Abyssal Blade as well, critting for like 1k plus, it's just so devastating. It's there's almost nothing you can do against that, really. But now Regal, third pick about to come. Will we see the secondary support now? Maybe another lockdown, maybe still go for the Skyrift Mage. I mean, Ancient Seal is pretty decent against the Tidehunter. At least earlier on when the Kraken Shell has the lower or higher threshold, I guess I should say. When Kraken Shell isn't high enough in levels yet. And even later on, you can try it, or at least attempt to just do it like Ancient Seal to Tidehunter and not damage him, so that he won't break. Or so he won't Kraken Shell off the silence. But will Awake go for another IO, for example, in this game? Are they going to run some form of dual lanes like Phantom Assassin IO mid lane with Disruptor somebody safe and Tide off lane? But then again, even with IO backing them up, Phantom Assassin might not have the greatest of times up against Viper, although it wouldn't be the worst either, probably, with the IO just harassing with the balls. But Regal going for a Witch Doctor, so they're going to have to sustain some of the team fight for themselves. Also, I guess, somewhat denying the possibility of a Witch Doctor for the side of Awake. Witch Doctor is a decent-ish combination with the Tidehunter. Just Ravage into the Death Ward. But Regal now, with their two supports, they can go fairly aggressive thanks to the Voodoo Restoration. Just they can even dive a little bit more than some support duos could. Or can. But Awake now, what will they go for? Some form of lockdown would definitely be nice, because at the moment, I guess Glimpse can be classified as some... It's not lockdown per se, but it still helps you to get kills in the sense that they try to run away and you just bring them back. So it's not exactly like a stun, but in some cases it's a lot stronger just because of the range that it has. And of course they do have the Ravage, but it's just on a 2.5 minute cooldown, so... Usually, if you can help it, you would want to get at least like one stun apart from that. And well, that's gonna be plenty of stuns from the Earthshaker. If he has points into Aftershock, he's gonna have stuns galore. But Regal now going for an axe. And not too sure how they're gonna lane this, but I would somewhat hope for an aggressive tri-lane axe even here. Although, it might be an aggressive tri-lane with a Viper, Witch Doctor, as well as a Vengeful Spirit. And then leaving axe safe lane, and axe, especially the Dire safe lane up against Tidehunter, is a great lane for the Axe if he knows how to play it. I've seen Axe get like level 3.5 in such a lane. Oh, not level 3.5, what am I saying? Level 6 in 3.5 minutes in such a lane. Just because you side pull the big camp for yourself, then you go to the enemy. Either just creep skip it, or maybe just go for straight off Berserker's Call if the hero is close to the creep wave as well at the same time. You get the creep wave, maybe get the hero as well if you're lucky enough with the spins. And then you go to side camp, kill that off, just crap tons of XP coming his way. But we'll see if Underminer actually do that. I mean, their tri-lane would be rather strong, I do have to say. Disruptor isn't that strong early on in the levels in the tri-lane. Yes, the Thunderstrike can do quite a lot of damage, especially if the heroes should be clumped together so the Thunderstrike hits more than one of the heroes. But Meepo did get banned out by Regal now. I guess it's a decent-ish ban, by the way, just picking up a Queen of Pain instead. For Regal though, do they pick up a mid laner now? If they do, it's gonna give us a little bit of a more indication about their lanes. I guess something like a Puck might not be too bad, but then again, they might want some more just oomph, some firepower for themselves. Just at the moment, the one issue that they might run into, even if they completely dominate the lanes and everything, how are they properly gonna go high ground? Especially if Queen of Pain should go for an Aghanims. 40-second Scream of Pain just demolishes creep waves and makes it extremely hard for you to push high ground. So what heroes would be there for the push? I guess Lycan is still available if they want to go for like a safe lane Lycan, but that would mean that it's gonna be an Axe off lane, and that wouldn't be the best of positions. I mean, Axe has definitely played off lane before as well and has come out maybe not entirely victorious, although I've seen that as well, but it's just they wouldn't have anybody great to send against Queen of Pain mid. And to be honest, even an OD might not be the best of options. Of course, OD doesn't really help anything for the pushing. And since the Terrorblade was also banned out, you could try to go for a Naga, but even a Naga takes maybe too long to get online, and by that time, Tidehunter already has his Blink. Queen of Pain might have his Aghanim Scepter already as well if he does well enough early on. Queen of Pain, I guess he might go for an Orchid as well, depends on Regal's last pick. If it's like a Storm Spirit or a Puck, definitely Orchid might be a worthwhile choice. But I don't know, Regal it's going to be up to them to just completely snowball and make Awake tap out, I think. Because going into the late game, Awake not looking bad at all. But Awake, or rather Regal, did go for the OD in the end anyway. I guess it's gonna be some nice sustain with that aura of his, the Essence aura. So that they can just almost heal indefinitely with the Witch Doctor. Everybody will have mana to just spam out their spells. So it's up to Regal to kind of take lane dominance. And make it so the Phantom Assassin, although Phantom Assassin is one of those characters that just needs a little bit of RNG rather than a lot of farm. Queen of Pain, of course, if she gets shut down, it's gonna be a little bit sad. The same for the Tidehunter, but Regal still, how will they lane this? I'm still hoping for that aggressive tri-lane with the first 3 heroes that they have here. The Witch Doctor, the Vengeful, and the Viper. With OD mid and Axe safe lane up against Tide. That's what I'm hoping for. But Awake, are they expecting the same, and are they going to just go for an aggressive try of their own? Although it might not be the greatest one, it's still a solid and considerable one. At the moment though, to introduce the lineups, as we have a pause again. Fun times, guys, fun freaking times. For the side of Awake, Solotic playing the Tidehunter with Bunk, Cell, Roti on the Queen of Pain, Toy as is on the Phantom Assassin, Living Lambesis on the Disruptor, with Awake being the last one on the Earthshaker. As for the counter side, for Underminer, Regal on the Dire, JNY playing the Axe with Ryuki on the OD, Boys playing the Witch Doctor, Living Visam on the Viper, and CK is going to be the last on the Vengeful Spirit. So no idea how long this will take, but at least we have an Axe in the game. OD is also a hero we haven't seen all that much. I mean, he got changed a little bit as well. Essence Aura works is a little bit more different now. The mana percent chance for it to restore is, I think, a little bit worse, but then again it gives you extra base mana as well. Let's just skill it up. I think the skill build is still more or less the same for you, just Astral Imprisonment and Essence Aura. Maybe one just value pointed to Arcane or a little bit earlier. We'll see if he even wants to pick up the Sanity's Eclipse early on or not. Just because up against the Queen of Pain, if it's a Queen of Pain in the mid lane, even if you get a lot accomplished, if you get like a lot of Astral Imprisonments off, Queen of Pain might still be fine and might still have just enough intelligence to survive that Sanity's Eclipse. At least compared to just, like, let's say it would be a Phantom Assassin there, who would be just all out of mana at all times. I mean, starting with 13 intelligence after all. Queen of Pain is the highest, but he's so far, well, he's up to 30 intelligence, but heading towards a safe lane, at least for the time being. Of course, Underminer, they're heading there as 4, or are they? No? Viper is backing off, so it might be a Viper safe lane up against the Tidehunter, and it's going to be that Axe aggressive tri-lane after all. I still would think that the Viper tri-lane would have been more devastating for Awake to deal with. Especially if the Queen of Pain is actually on the safe lane. And well, Phantom Assassin I guess is like decent-ish against OD, doesn't care too much about his mana. And Stifling Dagger is such a low mana cost that even with just losing a lot of intelligence you might still be able to cast it. But I don't know, it's not the best of positions, just let's put it like that. But maybe it's gonna work out perfectly, maybe not. I mean, Viper definitely can handle the Tidehunter, or should be able to handle the Tidehunter fairly easily. Although at the moment Lambesis and Boom both hanging about. I do believe they have vision of the Viper. Oh yes they do, from this high ground here. As Visam, oh god, no, don't go for the rune, it's a bait. Don't go for the freaking rune, he might get blocked off. He's gonna turn around now. Do we have a glimpse? The Fissures there, it's a perfect block as well, Visam. Oh, he's gonna go down for the first blood. He got so damn greedy, and that is not a great start. They didn't even get the bounty rune from that either. Visam, at least had he gotten the rune, it would have been like semi-okay-ish. And he, of course, does not have enough mana for a TP, or not enough gold for a TP. Which means that he is freaking royally screwed. As we see JNY though, he's creep skipping, not getting too many spins, or rather he was going away from the creep wave while his Queen of Pain now comes in as well. Hasn't gone for a single point into anything, just because CK, well, he's going for the blink. He was waiting for the mid lane though. Toy takes a lot of damage from the paralyzing cask being used. But Astral Imprisonment, not really that great for damage. I mean, I guess you get a little bit of extra intelligence for yourself, but early on it's only 4. And suddenly CK and JNY might be in a bad position if the rotations come in. I mean, Awake already got the first blood after all. JNY though, he's just gonna pull the creep wave away. As boys. Not too sure why they're not aggressive tri-laning, or their laning is a little bit awkward to me. Solotic even harassing Visam at the moment. He's level 3 almost, Visam is only level 1. That bounty rune, the kill, plus Viper getting so late to the party, and well, they get another kill. So, Underminer, this is exactly how the laning should not go for them. They should be the ones getting the kills if they want to win the game. I mean, they can definitely still hit like a heavy mid-game timing if the Axe gets a blink, but with this kind of laning, it's just not going to be that easy. Vengeful Spirit, he is just... assistance on the lane will be limited. JNY, there's almost no way that he's actually going to catch up to a Queen of Pain, especially if Coop should pick up boots as well. And now, boys, he's in a lot of trouble. He's body blocked a little bit. He has another Stifling Dagger on Toys. Paralyzing Cask perfectly positioned. So he's going to escape for now, but boom, he glimpses on cooldown. A few more right clicks. Astral Imprisonment buys some time, but they get the kill anyway. 3 kills. Just the movement of Regal so far has been absolutely freaking horrible. And Visam being that far behind on levels, usually Viper definitely can manhandle a Tidehunter on the lane. But at the moment, thanks to the start that happened, it's not that easy of a lane all of a sudden. It should still favor the Viper, I think, as time continues. But well, as I say that, boom, he's going to rotate to the top as well. Oh god, just everything is going bad. JNY gonna go for the creep skip again. But does he? Well, I guess he has what it takes with 3 heroes being there for them now. CK forces out the blink as well. Not that big of a deal. I mean, 12 seconds on cooldown still, but he should be fine. But bang. He gets scouted by the Vengeance Aura, or the Wave of Terror rather. JNY keeps on just creep skipping. They want to apply a lot of pressure, but Visam now, he's in a lot of trouble once again. No point into corrosive skin. Gonna glimpse back as well. No way to run the other way away, just because there was a gush on him as well. So 4-0, 3 minutes in. Well, if you look at the last hits though, it's not still bad. I mean, mid lane 16 and 9. I guess you can kind of expect it, just because every time Toy wants to come close, there's going to be an Astral Imprisonment. Bottom lane Axe getting the last hit still as well. Queen of Pain, no, Paralyzing has nothing to bounce to. Magic Missile, not enough mana. I don't think it would have landed anyway, even if it was that close of a difference. But oh, Punk Celtic trying to TP out. Magic Missile will cancel it, and that's gonna be finally a retaliation kill for Underminer Regal. They need those, and Lambes he is scouted out. But there's a siege creep as well. JNY might just drag it into the side camp. Never mind, no side camp because they blocked it off themselves, my bad. But the tower taking a lot of damage, especially with the help of the siege creep being there, and they know Lambesis is around, but they cannot really get the proper wrap around on him, just because even if Poise came in from here, Paralyzing Cask would have nothing to bounce to. Now of course, Bang coming back as well. Boots will come out for Lambesis. The Fisher's there, Thunderstrike as well. Boom, he TP'd in. Axe in a lot of trouble. He cannot heal himself up because, well, his positioning is just crap. So he goes down, and now CK will be next. Glimpse back, Shadow Struck up as well. The kinetic field will keep him in the trees, and well, once again, nice rotations, but they lose the tower in the meantime. CK, at least he managed to do that. Fisher finally gets the kill. The kill actually took a lot longer than I expected. In the meantime, Visam being harassed by Solotic. Last hit twice. Visam still is ahead though. Has died twice already. Tidehunter has gotten 2 kills. It just goes to show, if this lane had started normally, with Tide not having that huge of an advantage, it would have been a complete crush by the Viper. So at the moment, Tidehunter has to thank his lucky stars that it started the way it did. And look at this, Ryuki going for a really fast Hand of Midas. Already has the recipe. Just needs 2 more creep lastids, or 1 more creep lastids and a handful of seconds to actually finish it up. So not looking that bad, but then again, Midas, it doesn't give you just instant value, especially not to your intelligence, so it's still not going to be easy for Underminer with the way things started, but last hit wise and also getting the tower definitely helped out. Of course, with the tower, that is what enabled the OD to go for that fast of a Midas as well. And if you compare that to Toy 14 last hits, doesn't have too much for himself. Tidehunter already has Arcane Boots, and Tidehunter with Blink is always going to be a little bit scary. And he has a double damage now as well. 2 heroes coming in under the guise of the Smoke of Deceit. Oh god, not going to be fun for Vice. And there's the Gush once again. He has a level 2. Never mind, doesn't even matter. They have the Ravage if need be, which they don't. Kinetic Field is there, Thunderstruck up as well with the Fisher. Visam just not having a great game at all. At least he has the Buckler Recipe and the Headrest, but it's just kind of bad farm to be honest. He's losing so much gold dying. And Lambesis, he has his Arcane Boots 4, 0 and 2. This Earthshaker has been a part of 6 of the 7 kills. That is just great stuff. And Vengeful, I have no idea what you're doing solo up against Queen of Pain like that. At least it didn't show him on the lane. Otherwise it's just Blink in, Scream of Pain, Shadow Strike, maybe Sonic Wave as well, and boom, there's no Vengeful anymore. So, Queen of Pain, he's gonna be going up against Viper now, who's almost level 6. So if they can somehow force out the Blink, never mind, Queen of Pain TP's back all the way home. Gets a bottle for himself. Tidehunter in the meantime, he bottles up a haste rune. God damn. The runes and the rune control, definitely well done by Awake. They deserve the runes that they get with the rune control that they have been having. Witch Doctor though, he's being just in the top lane now. Getting some XP from there, although he has to be careful. Solotic with the haste. You can definitely solo kill a Witch Doctor even if he has the Voodoo Restoration level 2. You might have to commit a Ravage for it, but it might be even worth it. But Chain Y now, Indian M jungle, still only level 5. So, the aggressive tri lane, I still think just Axe against Tide would have been better, just straight out. I mean, Viper probably is more stable of a lane crush against Tidehunter, but like I said, the way things started just weren't favorable, and the tri lane or aggressive dual lane would have been better. Boys in a lot of trouble, Paralyzing Cask used, nothing to bounce though. The Kobold was a little bit too slow, but boys, runs into the trees, and Solotic not gonna dive that far. Still some harass, has 3 bottle charges, has even a healing cell, so not that big of a deal that he took the damage. But looking at the Wake's other heroes trying at least to rotate in, that's a bigger deal. But oh god, Ryuki, he's in so much freaking trouble. So he comes in, there's the Gush first. Is there gonna be an Astral Imprisonment in time? There's the Ravage, no Astral Imprisonment. Ryuki might still buy a couple of seconds. CK comes in, but he's gonna go down probably. I think everybody who TPs in might be casualties unless there's something huge. Oh god, the Sanity Eclipse. Catches one Solotic, poison attack, never mind, healing stuff gets cancelled, he bottles up as well, he's still alive, but Lambesis gonna get Berserker's Call. There's the Culling Blade as well in the end, it's a 2-for-1. Axe, if only he had a Blink right about now, or he might have still been able to chase him down as Visam. They get the Queen of Pain in the meantime, so make it a 3-for-1. Astral Imprisonment, I guess it bought just enough time, and Chain Y still wants to chase them down. Tranquil Boots active, if he gets the Berserker's Call, that's gonna be the end. Oh no, Fisher, Lambesis, once again, at the right place, at the right time, I guess. Being only level 4 gave him that short of a respawn, but he had to TP in there. So some gold just still used. But I guess Awake just missing their kind of ultimates. No Sonic Wave was used there. They still do not have the Echo Slam, nor do they have the Static Storm. If they had those, things would have been probably a hell of a lot easier. But suddenly Chain Y, almost level 7, about 250 gold away from the Blink. So things not looking all that bad. Viper also regaining quite a lot from that. Has the mech finished all of a sudden. Midas OD still getting some value out of it, even though he died. But he got the Sanity Eclipse off before, which is without what I don't think it would have gone the way it did for Regal. For a little bit, I definitely wondered that whether those TPs coming in like that are gonna be a disaster with just all of them dying. But I guess the Ravage didn't hit that many targets. But it wasn't that devastating in that case. Just because, like I said, they lack the other ultimates. Phantom Assassin definitely not a threat at the moment yet either. Not that high of a chance for you to get crits. Phantom Strike, I guess it doesn't even matter what level it is as long as you can use it. But there's the Blink for Axe. And is he gonna be able to catch somebody? Is he gonna be able to just show off his first, show off his Blink Dagger with his first initiation and actually get the kill out of it? Or is he gonna completely fail? And speaking of Blinks, Tide trying to work towards his own as well. Solotic farming up a triple stack of Ancients, taking some damage, but he still has a bottle, so he's gonna be just fine. Bottom lane though, there's the Berserker's Call and the dunk with the help of CK, with the Magic Missile for a little bit of additional lockdown. So Queen of Pain goes down. I mean, hasn't had the worst of games, I guess, but looking at the net worth, not the greatest either. I hear a glimpse somewhere. I guess it wasn't the Witch Doctor denying the bounty rune. Disruptor really wanted the bounty. So they're finally gonna have to bottle up. But he's getting extremely close. After this Ancient Granite Golem, about 200 gold away from the Blink. Oh god, boom, he took the Granite Golem. Not too sure if intentional or greed. So Tidehunter needs to work a little bit more. But still, only about 340 gold away. So if he gets the Blink, Blink Ravage might be just a thing that can easily win you a team fight. Especially now that they have the Static Storm as well. And this time around, Queen of Pain should be ready with the Scream of Pain. Not too sure if she was lacking mana last time or just couldn't find the right angle for it and just delayed it out a little bit too long and then the Berserker's Call game. But now they know that Axe has a Blink. So it makes things a little bit harder. But Queen of Pain, he's staying clear of the creeps. So at best, there's going to be a range creep attacking him when the Berserker's Call comes. But look at this. Oh god, JNY and CK, they are being sneaky freaking rats. Ninjas. Not rats, ninjas. Blink is picked up on Tyler, there's Dodil. And they saw, boom, boom! Berserker's Call will come out. Thunderstrike was there, but no glimpse. Magic Missile to follow and badunk. Badonkadonk. As Toy. 42 last hits. It's not that bad, to be honest. It's just the items, power trades only. Does he go for BKB next, though? Viper can still slow through BKB. Deathward still goes through BKB as well. But then again, Sanity's Eclipse won't damage you. Arcane Orb won't get the pure damage effect from it either. So BKB might still be a worthwhile choice, even though Berserker's Call also goes through it. So it's maybe a necessary evil, kind of. But 12 minutes into the game now. Looking at the graphs, it's about a 2500 lead for Regal. XP only about 1300 or so, and they might lose one of their heroes shortly. CK, Vengeful, you are not the hero to be solo like this, although he might not even get punished for it. Solotic has an invis room, but he's gonna go into the mid lane instead. I guess Ryuki is a slightly higher priority kill. So far only 2 points into Essence Aura, and thanks to that, well, he's almost completely out of mana, cannot even use that Aster Imprisonment once. Can he use the Hand of Midas before he goes down though? Yes he can. So even if he dies now, at least the Midas value was there. But TPs are coming in, I guess they're kind of anticipating this. There's actually a lot of TPs. So I think they saw them with this Observer still, just because there was no smoke, just an invis on Titan, that's it. Which is gonna wear off soon enough as well. So Awake, they are rather grouped, and Queen of Pain is trying to farm up the jungle. At least he's stacking it at the moment. But mid lane, oh, he went in, but it's not enough to get Toy. At least he gets out of the static storm, but is he gonna go down up the glimpse back? But there's the swap. Ravage will catch all four. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Where's the Sonic Wave? They're waiting for it. It catches two. It's gonna be enough to get those 2 kills, but Boom will go down next with the help of the Sanity's Eclipse. Arcane Orbs doing a little bit of damage. Solotic still alive, finally goes down to the, I think, corrosive skin even. Lambesis just doesn't have enough damage. And there's the Echo Slam. It's gonna be enough. Maybe Toy. He's still there. A few more right clicks. Ryuki gets the kill, but is he gonna go down in turn? Yes, he is. Lambesis. He was the hero with the Echo Slam of that fight. Without the Echo Slam, I don't think they would have killed Vaisam nor Ryuki. So in the end, a 3-4-5. Of course, the way things started with the Ravage being like that, it should have gone maybe even a little bit better still for Awake. Especially considering that Axe, apart from the first Berserker's Call, didn't do anything in that fight. So, a little bit sad, but there's another Blink Berserker's Call. This time around, no freaking chance. No Culling Blade even needed, just because there were enough creeps to just get the spins going. Spin to win for Axe. So, in the end, if you account this skill in as well, it's kind of like a 4-4-5. Still Awake, it was an excellent fight, but now all of their ultimates are on cooldown. Static Storm not that long of a cooldown. Sonic Wave and Ravage though, pretty damn long. And Queen of Pain, nowhere near the Aghanim Scepter or something, and you could see Axe, him wanting to blink in, but he got the Stifling Dagger just before. Boys though, he gets glimpse back, but oh god, Solotic, his caught, Berserker's Call is there. They're doing a lot of damage, but the Death Ward is there as well. Boom, he has to escape. Never mind, Solotic's still alive. Finally, the Magic Missile is there. But it's still not enough time, just a little bit too tanky, I guess. And they just lose the Witch Doctor and don't even get a single kill. Of course, the Death Ward going on to Boom, not Tide, was a little bit unfortunate there, but Solotic, they blink forward, the Fisher onto JNY. Oh god, it's a disaster. Swap back from CK though, but the glimpse is there anyway. Disruptor's glimpses have done so much for them this game already. OD does get the Force Death, so some extra intelligence, but there's no escaping for CK now. So, Underminer, Regal, maybe it's like a dire side curse, trying to go too aggressive, although I would have thought that you can easily kill the Tide in that case as well, but I guess they just lack damage. Maybe they do need the OD, it's just pure damage here. So 16 to 10 the kill score. Looking at the graphs, net worth is actually in the favor of Awake now, so that's pretty good for them. Phantom Assassin getting some items going. Has the Mithril Hammer and the Ogre Club as well. So BKB only about 400 gold away. Ravage is off cooldown now as well, as is every single ultimate apart from the Echo Slam, but Lambesis, he's only 240 gold away from the Blink Dagger, so that's gonna be huge. Blink Echo Slams, even if not the Echo Slam, just Blink and Chat Totem into Fisher. Still a lot of lockdown for the AoE. And as you can see, OD is still farming the best thanks to the Hand of Midas, but his impact isn't all that great in the fights. I mean, yes, Sanity Eclipse can do a lot of damage, but he cannot stand there himself. 850, well, 890 HP now that he gets another level, but it's not great. It just isn't. Let's put it like that. So if they continue like they did with the last fight, they can easily tie up the series. Underminer, of course, even if they win a couple of fights, high ground will still be extremely hard for them. Now drinking some water. Water is good. We do have a blade mail now though on Axe, so that's gonna help him a little bit, especially if the Queen of Pain just blows her entire load into the blade mail. Gonna take a lot of counter damage yourself. CK, they get a nice sentry ward going as well. The sentry was of course placed before, but JNY, oh god, boom, finds him with an Invis rune. JNY, not too sure if he saw that he got, well, there's the Thunder Strike, making sure there's no blink out. He's probably screwed. There's the Glimpse back as well into the Static Storm. JNY cannot escape. This Paralyzing Caster will bounce once, but the Ravage will catch two boys. He's there as well, fissured up. Just the aggression of Awake is that much better. Regal, maybe it may be due to the nature of their lineup, but last game they were the ones just always reacting properly. Now though, Awake, their aggression just catches them off guard. Disruptor and Europe Shaker both, they've just accomplished so much this game. The supports really, I think, if they win the game, it's mostly thanks to the supports. Just nice rotations from the get-go, nice glimpses, and the fissures as well. It's definitely not over yet, especially since OD can just kill half a team with his ultimate. If he gets big enough, that is. Of course, if he gets a Hex as well, that's also going to be a pretty nice thing to have. But suddenly, from the last fight, Spunk only about 970 gold away from the Aghanims, unless he has... Oh, never mind, he has the Aghanims finished. He was struggling a little bit with farm suddenly. Just a couple of great fights, get the tower down. Has the Aghanim Scepter, so fighting will get even harder. It has a level 2 ultimate as well. So it's going to be 450 pure damage. I don't know. Regal, they looked horrible at the start, then they just regained their composure, but oh god, JNY, he knows somebody's around, but they don't have proper vision. They're next to each other, and Lambesis Berserker Skull will come out, should be the kill as well. There's the death for just in case. Static Storm comes out to stop the dunk, but Toy pops the BKB. Can he do enough? Astral Imprisonment defensively, and Toy, first BKB usage, so far wasted. Gets the Phantom Strike though to safety, although he got Viper struck up before. Aghanim Scepter picked up on Queen of Pain, and oh, he uses it as well. Lands on 2, but is it still gonna be enough? JNY pops the Berserker Skull, gets the dunk. Can he get any more Solatic? Will drop low, but can they get the kill? One more Arcane Orb, are you kidding me? No, yeah, yes, Blink Dunk. It's fine, guys, it's fine. Triple kill for JNY. 4-4-0, easy peasy. It was a pretty nice Sonic Wave, but this time around there was just no follow-up. Static Storm was also used to try to save the Earth Shaker. Maybe shouldn't have even tried. Death Ward, of course, kind of guaranteed the kill anyway. And that's the first BKB using a Phantom Assassin. I mean, he made the escape, but BKB really did nothing. It just isn't quite fight ready yet. And all this looks to be going for a Roshan now, so they're going to do it pretty fast thanks to the help of the Arcane Orb being level 3 for Ryuki. And of course they have the minus armor, which is only level 1 for Dimensional Spirit, but it is going to be Roshan. Age is picked up by Vaisam, as Ryuki has himself an ultimate orb. Is it gonna be straight off Hex? Is it gonna be maybe a Linkens? I would prefer Hex, to be honest, but to be honest, in some cases Linkens, just to avoid getting glimpsed from God knows where, might be worth it. But I think rather just go for a BKB in that case already, against all that Awake has. I mean, yes, the Queen of Pain ultimate goes through BKB anyway, since it's pure damage and pierces magic immunity or spell immunity. So I'm hoping for a Hex. I definitely am. Because Hex is a thing that you can even just get the Tidehunter with. He blinks in, although he usually manages to Ravage anyway before you get the Hex, unless you have vision of him before, and you kind of target the Hex and he blinks into range and then immediate Hex. But suddenly, Regal, looking good again, 3k network fleet for them, almost 4k in XP, but look at Solatic, he wants to come in, but he wants to catch enough heroes with the Ravage as well. Double damage though, one quap, bottled up. as Ryuki. He is split pushing, doesn't have boots of travel, so cannot easily join the fight, but as long as the tier 2 stands, he can TP do that. He at least is carrying a normal TP. Visam, the same for him. They're gonna have their Aegis for another 3.5 minutes or so, so plenty of time to make good use of that. I mean, it's always gonna be scary to fight against the kind of team fight that the Wake has. But looking at Phantom Assassin, BKB is there, has the Morbid Mask as well, so probably gonna be the Helm of Dominator. Might be a Morbid Mask casual for quite some time. Maybe going for like a Basher next. Basher is like never a bad item to have on a Phantom Assassin, especially if you can turn it to an Abyssal Blade later. Every now and then you see like an S and Y as well, but you're gonna get slowed down anyway by the Viper most likely. But BKB was definitely necessary, I think. But OD suddenly up to 3k gold already, farming up extremely fast to be honest. So up to 3.1k gold, which means if he wants to get the Hex, he only needs about another 500 gold or so. BKB in the meantime picked up by Visam, so he doesn't have too much to worry about. As long as he has the mech and 17, well, 17 magic one charge is going to be excellent. If he gets to pop the BKB before he gets ravaged, he's going to be just fine. Aghanim Scepter nowhere near one boom to be finished. And to be honest, ever since Lambesic got the blink, he hasn't done that much. Of course, in the past couple of minutes after the last fight, we haven't seen anything at all. Chain White just trying to go for the BKB of his own. And definitely I think those are the correct choices. And I think OD after the Hex might still want to consider a BKB as well. But already Visam as well as JNY having the BKBs might just be enough. They still have the Aegis for another 2 minutes as well. If JNY can farm up the necessary gold for the BKB in the next 2 minutes and can still just make use of it as well. And I think that's the timing that they're kind of gonna go for, especially with the Hex being finished now. So the Hex most likely will come as a surprise as well for Awake. So we'll see what Awake plans themselves. Do they have any big items coming out? Solotic working towards that Refresher Orb, has the Oblivion Staff already. So he's about halfway there. It's really just this Phantom Assassin. He needs a tiny bit more. Finished up the entire Helm of the Dominator. He dominated something as well. Oh yeah, it's moving back. Oh god. It's just a Rage Creep. I guess it's enough to stack Ancients, so it's gonna be fine. But they are going for something now. BKB is gonna be flying out for Axe, I believe. Ring of Bazzi even for... Nevermind, doesn't have the space at the moment, although Aegis will expire in exactly a minute, more or less. But they're going for the tier 2. Can Awake though just try to threaten Regal with a faster push of their own? I mean, neither side have like crazy pushing power or something, but at least Visam has the Nether Toxin, which also slightly helps up against buildings. So they're going to get the tier 2 for sure. We'll see if Awake can just replicate the efforts and get their own as well. But if you're a Regal, you might just try to go balls deep, just force it out at the moment. They still have the glyph as well. Did the Radiant use the glyph? Nope. So if Underminer really go for the high ground, the glyph will be there, and looks like they are going for it. They definitely want to make Awake back off Awake. They're going to get the tier 2 first and then try to TP back. But the BKBs are going to be so crucial, and of course, how well do Regal even have it timed down? They're going to lose the Aegis before the fight begins. I think Awake had it timed down pretty perfectly. CK gets slowed down first by the Stifle Dagger. But that's about it for now. But Visam, Aegis is gonna be reclaimed. He gets back to full HP, so he's not gonna get caught by that. Chain Y, long range Stifling Dagger, disabling the blink for a little while. But there's the glimpse as well. He has the BKB though. Will he pop it? Yes, he will. But a little bit too late maybe because he couldn't get the blink. And that's suddenly a 10-second BKB doing absolutely nothing for them. It's not that big of a deal though, because at least they didn't lose the hero and Glimpse is on cooldown. But maybe they can still catch up to somebody. Viper struck into Punk. He has the BKB as well if need be. Everybody slowed down. There's the Kinetic Field and... Oh! Blink Berserker's Call. No! The Glimpse the blinks out before. There's the therefore the Hex onto Solotic. He gets a Kraken Shell immediately. What freaking luck was that? But he goes down. But it was a couple of ultimates used. Even Sanity's Eclipse was there. So... it could have gone better. But oh! The Berserker's Call. They're gonna get the kill. A few Arcane Orbs. Dunk came out a second too early. So they didn't get that. So Dunk is on cooldown, which is a big deal. But oh, the swap. Magic Missile to follow on basis. He's gonna go down as well. Are we gonna have some buybacks? Tidehunter has the buyback plus the Ravage. They're gonna hold on for a little while, but they're gonna buy back now. Visam still has the mech. There's the immediate Berserker's Call. Queen of Pain. He cannot die here, but looks like he's going to. No, he gets the blink out. Are you kidding me? pops the Sonic Wave, he goes down in the end anyway. There's the Blink Ravage, catches Visam Solo, who just got the BKB off before. He's still gonna go down, Magic One charges do not keep him alive. Solotic drops low, but I think Regal, it's time for them to back off now. They got 3 buybacks out, they got the Queen of Pain again. They're gonna wait for a Flambesis, Blink, 2 Arcane Orbs, that's it. Stun onto Solotic as well. Can they get the Berserker Squall? Yes, they can. Oh my god, it's a freaking disaster. All 3 heroes that pulled back are dead once again. I think this just sequence of events might have been what completely snowballed Regal out of control. Wow. My freaking god. That didn't look that great at all with the start that it had. Ravage was pretty good as well. But the Sonic Wave was kind of a desperation one just because the Berserker Squall literally came immediately after the TP finished by the Queen of Pain. So, 26 minutes in, looking at the graph suddenly, a 7.5k lead in net worth, XP nearing 10,000 for Regal. So if they get the next Roshan as well, I think that kind of might be the nail in the coffin. At least there's a Basher on Phantom Assassin now, but they definitely need to just string their ultimates together a lot better than they have so far. Most of the times it's like the Ravage, the Sonic Wave, as well as the Static Storm, they're all being used separately. Of course, Regal, after having used the BKB on Axe, they backed off, but having seen that Viper is just way too slow to outrun them, they're like, yes, screw it guys, we can turn things around. And getting down the Tidehunter here, without him being able to Ravage, was probably the biggest thing that made it so that the Wake was forced into an awkward position the entire way. Of course, Axe, really nice Berserker Squalls as well. First, the just BKB thingies plays a little bit questionable maybe. But now there's a gem picked up on Vengeful as well. Roshan will spawn in 2 minutes, so not quite the maximum respawn, but slightly about 10 minutes anyway. So I guess it favors Awake a little bit, but they are just suddenly so far behind. As the graphs properly updated, 10k net worth, about 12k in XP. So things looking pretty damn solid for Regal at the moment, and well, for Awake, they still have their ultimates. They are by no means out of the game. The one thing I am worried about though is that if they win the fight with all of their ultimates, can Regal maybe just buy back and come straight away, or even just wait out their death timer and then come in, just because they're going to know that at the very least the Ravage will not be off cooldown in that short of a time. I mean, Queen of Pain will always have her ultimate, it's only a 40-second cooldown, but there's even a BKB now picked up on OD, and I think it's probably the correct choice as well, because he should be indestructible now almost. And for the side of Awake, I think there's still only one BKB. Yes, it is correct, only the Phantom Assassin has it. So the Arcane Orb would do just so much damage. As we saw, Earthshaker, he got hexed, and 2 Arcane Orbs and he was dead. I don't think he was exactly full HP when he got hexed, but he was definitely at least at 75%. And suddenly 3.3k on ChainY as well. Can go for an Aghanim Scepter, for example, if he wants to. He can also just get... or he already has rather a level 3 ultimate anyway as it is. Visam going for the Demon Age, might be a Monkey King bar and probably will be up against Phantom Assassin. Boom though, working towards his own Aghanim Scepter. If only he had that, it might actually make somewhat of a difference. Before that though, they might just be facing one too many BKBs. But Tide, how well can you Ravage, bro? Can you even Ravage? The buyback of course made it so that Refresher Orb might not even come out at all this game. And Regal maybe getting a little bit too hasty. Roshan just now respawns. They're not checking it out though. Maybe with the courier they're going to. Is it gonna be that Reaver for the Axe, for example, from there? Does anybody else have enough gold to want anything from there? Don't think so. So it's just hanging about. But the tower is taking some damage from Visam. Wave of Terror scouts out the tree side to make sure there's no Tide or just Queen of Pain hanging about. But Kinetic Field is used already, not that big of a cooldown, so it doesn't matter. But Tier 3 will go down, and they might back off now, go for Roshan and then come back. Or I guess never mind, Visam, he's tanky enough to be in the front lines as it is. Stifling Daggers come out. As long as Chain-wise Blink doesn't get disabled though, they're gonna be fine. But Awake, they have to react soon, they just cannot give away the Rex for nothing. But Regal, their position so well. CK for the swaps if need be. Chain-Y goes in, will just destroy the ward. Oh, but there's the Blink Ravage, that's what they've been waiting for. Catches for the BKBs to come out. Sonic Wave still does a lot of damage to therefore though Solotic. He gets stunned up a little bit, Toy. He's Berserker Skull but has the BKB activated. They're gonna lose the Earthshaker though before the Echo Slam. There's the Sanity's Eclipse, gets the Tide Hunter down. That's gonna be Rex as well. Swap back, oh god, Chainwine might be in trouble, never mind. There's the dunk, 3 down. Phantom Assassin does have buyback. But GG is called. Regal, they take this game 2-0. At the start, it was rocky. Then they lost like one fight in the middle or in between as well. But they managed to just kind of tie things together. Went for the correct itemization as well, I think. That was what allowed them to do a hell of a lot. And kind of like in the last game, just 1 or 2 fights decisively won by Regal, and suddenly Awake didn't have an answer. And that's just a problem as well. If you go for that much team fight, you just have to make it count early enough, because they just got the necessary items. The Ravage, it was beautiful. Code 4, Vengeance Spirit, the only one that didn't get hit by it. But suddenly after the BKB, or after the Ravage, everybody popped BKB. Sonic Wave did the damage, but nothing else damaged them. Phantom Assassin a little bit so, but was just not big enough. But guys, this is not it for HeflaTV for today. For this channel, yes it is. We'll be back tomorrow though, also with jDL Asia. It's going to be, I think, Mineski versus Kingdom, I do believe at 13 CET, which should be 20 SGT. But at the moment on HeflaTV 1, there is the SLTV, the Star Ladder TV Pro Series going on. It's going to be, I don't know who's playing now, but at 20 CT it's going to be Moscow 5 International versus Balkan Bear. So lots of great Dota on HeflaTV 1, so check that out, they are already live. But for me guys, this is it. I hope you enjoyed the cast, and see you guys tomorrow for Mineski versus Kingdom on HeflaTV 1, hopefully.